Some more good news for Social Security, as we are hearing that millions around the nation are going to be receiving increased boosted checks in the month of April. Now, this is not going to be everybody, but I'm going to be covering for you the details of who is going to be getting these boosted increased checks for Social Security. So let's go ahead and take a look at the latest headlines, though. I'm going to go through the details of these articles so that way you can see them for yourself. So let's go ahead and take a look at this screen right here. Why millions of Social Security beneficiaries will receive bigger payments starting in April. And you can see this came out March 25th, 2025. So this just came out in the last 24 hours. Also, Social Security payment boost in April. How much more can you expect? Like I said, covering all the details. Here's another one as well. Millions of Social Security Administration beneficiaries are getting surprise 6K payments. Do you qualify? Now, this I covered for you when it had come out about a week or so ago. So those of you that got this boosted check, and I had a lot of people reach out and say, Steve, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know if this was real or not. I thought it was a scam. I saw 6,000, 7,000. I haven't had people at my church tell me I got up to almost $8,000 in boosted checks. I let them know this was real. This was due to the Social Security Fairness Act. Now, in addition to that, for everybody collecting Social Security, there's a big update for you as well. Just wanted to let you guys know. We'll cover this in detail as well. New Social Security requirements are going to be effective in April as well. Call for in-person checks. So if you need to verify your identity for whatever reason with Social Security, you got to go into the office. You got to do it in person. So like I said, though, let me go ahead and get you caught up on the latest. As we're hearing, many people have gotten $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 like extra checks thanks to the Fairness Act. Now we're hearing also millions around the nation are going to be getting a bump up in their checks starting in April. And also there are going to be changes that are taking place here starting in April as well. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And before we do me a quick favor. If you appreciate the updates, don't forget, take a quick second, hit that like button for me. Help spread this out further so more people can get the latest updated information. In addition to that, if this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date on everything that's going on, because yes, there is a lot taking place, especially with Social Security right now. It is all over the headlines. DOJ, we're hearing, is going through Social Security trying to eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. At the same time, we're hearing that there is a federal judge that's blocking DOJ from getting access. DOJ, we had heard, potentially could be shutting down. There were warnings from former commissioners saying that there could be delays in checks. Now we're hearing that the current acting intermittent commissioner is saying, okay, we're not going to shut down Social Security, but we're going to put DOJ on training to try to get them in there to audit right away. And a lot of people saying, hey, we want to see these audits taking place because we want the solvency of Social Security to last longer than 8 or 12 years. Get rid of the fraud, waste, and abuse. But a lot of people saying get DOJ out of Social Security. So we will see. Now, let me know if you want DOJ to get into Social Security and eliminate fraud, waste, and abuse. Put yes in the comments. If you don't think that they have any business being in there, put a no in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And in addition to that, as I've mentioned, eliminating taxes on Social Security. Why the double taxation? This is what Donald Trump is saying, and he is pushing to eliminate double tax on Social Security. Also, we're hearing that there are DOJ dividend checks that are being worked on right now in Congress. Legislation being drafted as we speak. I'm keeping you up to date on that, and I was able to confirm with Mr. Fishback himself that Social Security is eligible to receive these DOJ dividend checks. He said if you're collecting retirement, you've paid into the system your entire life, you are at the front of the line to receive these potentially $5,000 DOJ dividend stimulus checks. Now, we will see if this is drafted into the bill, if it passes, and if DOJ is able to hit that $2 trillion goal, which would equate to a $5,000 check. It is contingent upon the success of the DOJ initiative. So I will keep you up to date on all that. And all that tying into Social Security. And in addition to that, we have solvency issues. We have CPIE, CPIW changes that are being proposed. And we've got COLA, cost of living adjustments with increased inflation we're hearing on the way. That could be changing as well. So like I said, If you're somebody that collects Social Security, regardless of if it's retirement, SSI, SSDI, any of these fixed income benefits, Veterans Affairs, VA, you are also included in that Doge dividend. Any of these, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, totally free. Hit that like button, and I'm going to keep you up to speed on everything. So let's go ahead and get right to it, though. I see a lot of people dropping yes, they want Doge in there. I'm seeing 47s coming in support of Donald Trump and the initiatives taking place. But let's go ahead and get right to it so that way you can go ahead and see the latest as to what is coming out. And let's start off with this right here. Why millions of Social Security beneficiaries will be receiving bigger payments starting in April. And as you guys know here on the channel, I put the articles on the screen, read right from it, and they are hyperlinked, cited down in the description so that way you can see it for yourself. Now, this article says that the Social Security Administration is set to begin sending larger monthly payments in the month of April to millions of people affected by a recent change in how benefits have historically been calculated for some public sector workers. So this is also having to do with the WEP and the GPO elimination. We were hearing that before. Those people were getting shorted on their checks. Now they're saying that it's not okay. They received boosted checks, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 in many cases. Now they're also going to be getting enhanced checks as well. The agency announced in February that it has begun to issue retroactive payments to 3.2 million Americans slated to receive additional benefits under a new law. Lump sum back payments were issued first, and higher monthly benefits kick in with March benefit payments. So there you have it. So, man, for 3.2 million people out there in the United States that collect Social Security, you received retroactive back payment boosts, and now your benefits are going to increase as well, which are distributed in April. Eligible recipients don't need to do anything to receive these higher benefits. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, just to clarify, this is not for everybody on Social Security, but for the 3.2 million that will be collecting this, congratulations. Now, like I said, though, I am going to be covering some updates that will be impacting everybody on Social Security. But first, let's go ahead and cover this a little bit more as well. And again, this is thanks to the Social Security Fairness Act. It says these changes came about as a result of the Social Security Fairness Act, which the lame duck Congress passed in December. The new law eliminates two other pieces of Social Security law: the windfall elimination provision, the WEP, and the government pension offset, or the GPO. Those statutes limited the amount of Social Security benefits that could be collected by people who get certain kinds of public pensions, such as teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other government employees. Now, in a polarized Washington, the law garnered a rare degree of broad bipartisan support. The House of Representatives voted 327 to 75 to pass it, and the Senate voted 76 to 20 in favor. The President Joe Biden, then President Joe Biden, signed it into law on January 5th. So this was one of the last bills we saw Biden sign before leaving office. He signed it right before. And then we had heard that this would not be applied for approximately about another year or so. But then we heard the Trump administration came in and said, this is not okay. We need to get this done, and now. And we are hearing within a matter of months, they have now issued out these retroactive back payment checks, and the increases will be starting right now in the month of April. So why did Congress change the WEP and the GPO? Well, most of the country's workforce contributes to Social Security through payroll taxes. Private sector workers typically become eligible for Social Security retirement benefits after paying into the system for at least 10 years. Since the public sector workers are covered by different pension systems, they aren't required to pay those taxes and generally don't qualify for Social Security retirement benefits. Some of the public sector workers do, though, if they worked a second job or took a retirement gig in a private sector. So the WEP and the GPO were conceived to prevent this group of workers from double dipping and collecting both Social Security and public pension benefits. But the proponents of the Social Security Fairness Act argue that public sector retirees are rightfully owed these benefits because they have paid into Social Security as well. So there you have it, you guys. These are the people that are going to be benefiting, the 3.2 million. So how much will the increases be to the checks? Well, it says the roughly 2.1 million beneficiaries affected by the WEP will see an additional $360 on average in their monthly benefit payments. So right now, if you collect, let's just make it easy, $1,000 a month, you would now receive $1,360 a month. The Congressional Budget Office, or CBO, said based on December 2025 benefit estimates. Now, the GPO reveals which the GPO repeal, which affects spouses and surviving spouses as well, would increase the average monthly payment by $700 for 380,000 spouses and by $1,190 for another 390 surviving spouses. Wow, so there's a lot of you out there that are going to get a bump up in their monthly checks of $700, and those that will almost receive a bump up of $1,200 per month. Now, if you're wondering, what should I do? You might not need to do anything. Acting Commissioner Lee Dudek said in a February news release that the agency's aggressive schedule called for retroactive payments to start going out that month. The Social Security Fairness Act stipulated that the WEP and the GPO would no longer be in effect as of January of 2024, so eligible beneficiaries are owed back pay from that date. The agency said these payments started going out the week of February 24th and that everyone owed a retroactive payment should receive it by the end of March. And like I said, I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, thank you for the update, Steve. I received this. Some people didn't even know this was taking place, didn't think it was real, searched on YouTube or Rumble or wherever it is that they found me and said, wow, thank you for confirming that this is real. This is such a blessing and great news. And now, in addition to those boosted checks, they're also going to get increased monthly payments as well. The larger monthly payments will go into effect starting with March Social Security payments, which are set to be paid out in April. In both cases, the SSA will deposit the money into the bank accounts that the agency has on record for beneficiaries. Now, if you're one of the eligible beneficiaries for the WEP and or the GPO rollback, you'll receive a notice in the mail from the SSA detailing the amount of retroactive payments and or monthly payment increases that you will be receiving. The SSA has an FAQ that addresses these and other related questions. If you are not sure if the agency has the correct mailing address or bank account information on file, you can check your Social Security account online or call them at 1-800-772-1213. So, there you have it, you guys. Man, let me know your thoughts in the comments. A lot of people, congratulations. You are going to get a huge blessing from the Social Security Administration, in addition to the $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 checks that people are reporting to me that they are receiving. They're also now going to be getting monthly increases. Now, I heard a lot of people say they would like to see monthly increases across the board to everybody collecting Social Security. Let me know. Would that be nice? We've heard that right now people are just barely getting by on these fixed income benefits. It is not enough. The cost of living adjustment increases, they're saying, do not keep up with inflation. We had heard this proposed by the Biden administration back in March of 2020 when he had said there should be a $200 per month increase across the board to everybody collecting Social Security. Now, we will see, because a lot of people are saying those that depend on these benefits, they need to see some form of an increase to keep up with inflation. And right now, it is simply not enough. So we will see how these items are going to be addressed. And as I mentioned, right now, the number one thing that the Trump administration is saying they want to do is eliminate the double taxation. This is something they're saying that has been going on for decades, needs to stop. We have seen that people will pay up to 50% on their income. Retirees that are pulling from Social Security, up to 85% on their Social Security when they hit certain threshold brackets. Since their creation, those threshold brackets have not changed. And people are starting to receive more and more with the increased cost of living adjustments, and they are pushing up into those brackets. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that when those brackets were created, I think it was something like less than 10% of those collecting Social Security were paying back into the system. Now it's something like 40%, getting close to 50%. Almost half of the people that collect Social Security are getting taxed as they're pulling their benefits. And they're saying, We have got to stop this. The Trump administration saying this is one of their top priorities in addressing Social Security, in addition to Doge dividend, refund, stimulus checks that could be going out as well. And like I said, I'll be keeping you guys up to date on all of this so you know exactly what is going on. Now, in addition to that, as I mentioned, you should have seen, those of you that are included in this, these bonus checks, surprise bonus checks, millions of SSA beneficiaries. They were getting that surprise $6,000 payment. Now, just wanted to clarify something. I had somebody reaching out to me on YouTube that was saying that they didn't think that this was real. They thought it was baloney, and that them and all of their friends that collect Social Security were not receiving it, so therefore they thought this was false. Now, this is not for everybody. There's, I think, about 3.2 million people that were impacted by the Social Security Fairness Act. Just because you did not receive this doesn't mean it's not real. I'm making sure that everybody's aware of what's going on, and especially for those that it is applicable to, that you know what's taking place. All you have to do is search Social Security Fairness Act. And in addition to that, I try to make sure that there's full transparency here on the channel. So I cite all the sources, put it on the screen, read right from it. I try to do my best to verify the sources. And I wanted to reconfirm for those of you that may be wondering, hey, why was I not included? This is only going out to certain people on Social Security, but I have verified that this is factual information. I try to do my best. And if I ever mess up, I'll let you know. But for those that were questioning, just wanted to verify for you, let you know this is real. People are receiving this. Even people in my church coming to me and letting me know, hey, Steve, I received almost $8,000. Thank you so much for the updates. And now also wanted to let you know, in April, those of you that receive those bonus checks, you're also going to see increased monthly payments coming from here on out as well. So congratulations to those of you. But now, for those of you that are a part of Social Security, there is an update starting in April as well that I wanted to let you know. So this is for everybody. Let me go ahead and share with you what's coming out here. As we're hearing, there is a new Social Security requirement which calls for in-person checks. It says that the SSA also plans to expedite the processing of direct deposits. Changes will apply to new Social Security applicants and existing recipients. So if you are a new applicant, this change is going to impact you. If you are an existing recipient, you need to know about this as well. So if you collect Social Security, this is for you. Advocates warn that changes could negatively affect older Americans. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and you can see this coming out in the last 24 hours as well. It says the Social Security Administration is set to impose tighter identity verification measures starting March 31st. So this is in an effort to help with the fraud, waste, and abuse. In-person verification is now going to be required starting March 31st as we go into April. This will require millions of Americans to verify their identity in person rather than over the phone. So we're hearing that the over-the-phone services, I guess maybe there's some concern about the fraud, the waste and abuse through over the phone. They're saying now for identity verification, you have to show up at an office in person. New in-person requirements for Social Security. Under new policy, people will no longer be able to verify their identity to the Social Security Administration by telephone. Those who cannot successfully use the agency's online My Social Security service will need to visit a field office in person to complete the verification process. So you can do it online in My Social Security or go in person. The changes will apply to new Social Security applicants. So if you're new to Social Security, you will need to do this, and existing recipients who want to modify their direct deposit information. So again, this is, they're saying, in an effort to protect those that are receiving direct deposit, to protect your payments, to make sure that you are not a victim of fraud, and they need to verify your identity in person. Social Security plans faster direct deposit processing as well. While implementing stricter verification requirements, the SSA also plans to expedite the processing of direct deposit change requests. So they're trying to make things more efficient for you. Both in-person and online requests will now be processed within 1 business day, eliminating the previous 30-day hold period for online direct deposit changes. So good news, they're going to be changing this within a 24-hour period. Social Security fraud prevention efforts. The agency says the SSA is losing more than $100 million annually to direct deposit fraud. Now, Lee Dudek, the acting commissioner of Social Security, explained that a major challenge in preventing fraudulent claims is that the information that we use through knowledge-based authentication is already in the public domain. So Social Security office closures raise concerns as well. The new verification requirement comes as the agency plans to close down dozens of Social Security offices across the country. So according to the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE's website, leases for 47 Social Security field offices in the states, including Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana, Florida, Kentucky, and North Carolina, have been or will be terminated. So if you need to do in-person verifications, first make sure that your office that you typically might visit is still open, as we're hearing many of them have closed. Retiree advocates warn that these changes could negatively affect older Americans in rural areas, particularly those with disabilities, mobility limitations, limited internet access, or who live far from SSA offices. So there you have it, you guys. We are hearing that these in-person visitations are going to be necessary starting in April. So be sure that you are aware of that. So, like I said, a lot going on with Social Security. We're hearing, again, congratulations to those of you that are going to be getting those boosted checks in April. Not everybody is going to be receiving this, but for those of you that are, congratulations. Also, congratulations for those extra $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 checks. And as more comes out on Social Security, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date. And a lot of people are hoping that those Doge dividend refund checks come through. We will see. I will keep you up to date on those as well, so that way I can let you know, because we've heard that Social Security, you are at the front of the line to receive a Doge dividend check. Now, again, just to clarify, I heard a lot of people say, is this going to be $5,000? When is this going to happen? What's going to take place with this? The information we have so far, until we receive the actual bill, the proposal, what we've heard and what I've confirmed with Mr. Fishback himself, is that is going to be 20% of the Doge clawbacks. So they said if that equates to a $2 trillion that they managed to get in fraud, waste, and abuse that's clawed back, 20% of that would equate to essentially a $5,000 check to each household. Now, if they only hit half of their goal, which let's say is $1 trillion, then it would be half of that amount, $2,500. Now, let's say, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but let's say they manage to do double their goal and get to $4 trillion. Well, that's a $10,000 check that would go out. The point is that it's not a set amount of $5,000. It is a sliding amount. It's 20% of whatever Doge accomplishes. Now, also, when would that go out? We're currently hearing that right now the Doge initiative is still taking place for over a year. So these checks, the Doge dividend checks, we're going to get more information. But if they're passed and it goes through Congress, the legislation is approved and everybody's on board, that it would likely go out in 2026, because Doge needs time to claw back and go through all of the federal agencies and see how much savings they can actually get their hands on. So we will see. I will keep you up to date. So right now, what we're hearing, though, is that is underway. And like I said, Social Security, you are at the front of the line. They said that you deserve these. You paid into this your entire life. And they also said disqualified is illegal immigrants. They said that if you've entered the country illegally, you are not supposed to be here, you've not gone through the proper channels to do so, you are automatically disqualified from receiving a Doge dividend check. But Social Security, you are at the front of the line. So if you like the sound of that, if you appreciate what they are putting together in this proposal for Doge dividend checks to give back to the American people, drop a 47 in the comments for support for the Doge initiative, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, and Mr. James Fishback. Drop those 47s and hit that like button if you appreciate that information. And also, if this is your first time here, don't forget, subscribe, totally free. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. But you guys, that is the latest. Just want to give you the information coming out here as we approach April that a lot of people are going to be receiving increased boosted checks, that those bonus checks should have gone out, and also there's going to be changes coming here and a lot more on the way for Social Security. It is coming to the forefront, and a lot of people very glad to see it, waiting for quite some time to see some things shaken up and changed here for Social Security. So there you have it, you guys. I see those 47s pouring in. I see the like buttons up. Thank you guys so much for the support. And like I said, I'll keep you up to speed on everything. But that is the latest. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.